This program is a presentation of UCTV for educational and non-commercial use only.
UCLA is a university with unlimited possibilities for students that desire world-class academics and research, unmatched diversity, incredible cultural and social opportunities, successful alumni and career networking, first-class campus facilities, plus America's top intercollegiate sports teams. Located in Westwood, just a few miles from the Pacific Ocean, UCLA's 1 square mile campus is surrounded by famous cities such as Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, and Santa Monica.
Hi everybody, and welcome to UCLA Bruin Talk. I'm Dave Marcus, joined by Naomi Manea. Thanks for letting us into your world. Today we're going to talk about some sports that are competing outside. We've got runners, we've got golfers, we've got all kinds of interesting stuff coming up for you.
Before we meet our first guests, let's take a look at the upcoming events.
If you're going to be outside, Southern California is a pretty good place to be. Runners are outside a lot when they're training, when they're competing, and we've got two very good ones here for you. Zack Torres is a sophomore. He's a cross-country athlete for UCLA and also on the track team. And Yasmin Woodruff is a sprinter who is training for the upcoming track season. She'll be a junior. Welcome to Bruin Talk.
Welcome, Q. Thanks for having us.
Zack, we talk about being outside. You're doing both sports, cross-country and long-distance running on the track team. You're outside a lot.
Yes, we are.
Tell us about what kind of training you're going through to prepare for both of those sports.
We, on average, will do about 10 to 12 miles a day. Usually our practices will be at 3, but sometimes they're split up into 2 times a day. So we'll run in the morning and then we'll run in the afternoon. Usually a morning will just be a shakeout. The afternoon will be something more harder, and it tends to toughen us up because we're in the heat, and Coach Braden is our coach, and he really believes in trying to be tough, everything out tough the last day. So, you know, if it's hot, just kind of suck it up and try to get better. And that morning run, when it's cooler, is kind of for you to get your head straight so you can hurt more than you did the last day.
Now tell us about what the shakeout is in the morning. What does that translate to as far as how many steps in front of the other?
The morning shakeout is just kind of a way to get your head straight, make sure that you're set, because if we're doing a shakeout, usually we'll have a harder workout that day. So actually, yesterday we did a workout where I had a morning shakeout, which was like 3 miles in the morning. I woke up like at 6 just to get my head clear, run. It was still kind of foggy outside, so you got that feel, and got my head straight. And then in the afternoon, we had a hard workout, which was 3 miles of warm-up. We had 6 miles at about 5:05 pace, and 5 minutes, 5 seconds, and then a 3-mile cool down. But that morning run really gets us mentally prepared for it because, you know, it does hurt, and we want it to hurt, so when we get to a race, it doesn't hurt as much as practice.
Yasmin, you're a sprinter. You do the 100 and the 200, and you're looking at him like he's crazy. Can you imagine running that far that often?
No, I mean, the mileage that we put in, we might run like maybe 5 miles or so, like all together, but they're in smaller intervals, so I can't imagine running 5 miles straight. So yeah, that is out of this world. So I'm just gonna stick to our little.
I was gonna say, you're happy with what you chose.
Yeah, we do 200 intervals or like 400 intervals, shorter distances, not whole miles at one time. So yeah.
Yasmin, you do outdoor and indoor running. Can you tell us a little bit about the events that you specialize in?
Yeah, so in indoor season, I do the 60 meters and the 200 meters. And outdoor season, I run the 100 and the 200 meters. And then I run the 4x100 and sometimes the 4x400 as well. So do some relays too. So I'm more a sprinter.
The indoor 60 always intrigues me because you see the runners go past the finish line and disappear into the tunnel. I know there are big pillows and pads at the end there. Are you ever worried that you're going to hit the wall too hard?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes because you have to you try to brace yourself, so you use your hands, and then sometimes it kind of feels like your arms are going to give out and they're going to break or something crazy. But I mean, it ends up being okay though. So.
Zach is a distance runner on the track team in the spring. Of course, you have to put in the road work in the fall, but you're competing in the fall for cross country. Tell us about how you got involved in doing cross country.
How I got involved in cross country was in high school. How it kind of started was my dad said I had to play a fall sport because I was on the baseball team. My dad used to play for the Dodgers organization.
And tell us who your dad is.
My dad's Phil Torres,
Yeah.
and he's played for the Dodgers organization. He's a baseball coach at my high school. And he told me I had to play a sport, and he said, look, you're not playing football because you're 5'5", 120 pounds, you're going to break. And he said, you're not playing water polo because you're just going to drown. So I'm going to stick you in cross country, and I'm going to make you run. Well, I got into the sport, and I was tough, and I don't like losing. I mean, you stick any athlete at the school in a Monopoly game, and we're still going to try to beat each other, and we're going to go cutthroat. So I got in the race and I got in my first race, and I won by over 45 seconds. They thought that I cut the course. I had to have people come and vouch for me that I actually ran the race.
Didn't take any subways in the middle?
Didn't take any subways, didn't take anything. So I got into the sport, and by the time I ended my freshman year, I was ranked #1 in California.
I'm always intrigued by cross country because on a track, you know, you have a certain number of laps, you can kind of judge the pace of the field. Cross country, you know, you're going over rocks and logs and all kinds of things out there. And you really have it must be hard to get a sense of the pace of the race.
Yeah, once you start the race, I mean, we already have like a pedometer in our head of, you know, how much farther we have to go, what else we have to do. But once that race starts, it's really about just trying to stay in front. It's really a psychological game because we're just trying, you know, whoever's going to hurt the most is going to win. And that's the messed up part about our sport is, you know, we're going to try to see how much pain we can go through. But when it all comes down to it, it's the toughest person and the person that's put in the most work. And if you're confident that you've put in the work, then you're going to succeed.
You mentioned that you played baseball too. I imagine your dad had high expectations for you being who he is. What was it like balancing both sports in high school?
In high school, I woke up at 5 in the morning and I would do my runs by myself. And then I would go to school, and I'd go into the weight room and lift. And then after the weight room, I'd go to baseball till about 10 o'clock at night, go home and study and start that process all over again. Especially being coach's son, I had extra expectations on the baseball team, and then being a captain of the cross country by almost my sophomore year, I had high expectations there. So it was a very big balance, or a very hard balance, but you know, it got me to a place like this. At the end of my high school career, I went to Foot Locker Nationals, and I was in 16th place. And at the finish line, I actually did a Pete Rose head first dive and beat the guy and got the final All-American spot. So baseball turned out to help me out in that situation when everyone else told me
You
not to
never
do it.
know when it's going to come in handy. Yasmin, like Zack, you're both outstanding students. You're a member of the athletic director's honor roll, and balancing that with your sport has to be a challenge.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially last year when we started working with Coach Gray, and we had like early morning practices, so we'd have practice at 6 a.m., then have to go to class, and then practice again, and weight room and stuff. So yeah, it definitely is a challenge to have to struggle. I mean, to have to balance athletics and academics, but I mean, that's what you have to do to become, to excel in the classroom and on the track, so you have no choice.
Well, yeah, and you said it, there's a certain amount of discipline you have to have in both pursuits to succeed.
Exactly. You definitely have to you have to like know your goals and know what you want in both places, and then you just have to attack it, and that's really all you can do. You just have to go for it.
Kids run around on the playground when they're little. When did you discover you were just a lot faster than all the rest?
I was actually in PE class, and I guess we had a race, and I beat everybody. And my second grade teacher, her son and her daughter ran on the track team, and so she was the one who introduced me to my club track team, and that's how I first started running. So.
As a sprinter, I imagine that you just have to go full force, full speed ahead. What goes through your head when you see that finish line and you see that person that's just like a foot or two in front of you? How do you get yourself that extra boost to go and win the race?
It's really like mental, and I guess too for myself, I'm more at the end of the race. That's when that's my strongest point. So I guess at the last 30, 40 meters, at that point I'm just like, you know what, like these 5-man practice, I'm thinking about like all the work I put in to get to this stage. Like I'm like, well, I practiced at like 5 o'clock. I had like 3 practices this morning, so it's like, you know what, I need to do this. Like I don't know, I just go out there and I just think about all the work I put in so that I can win this race.
Your coach, Jeanette Bolden, just was inducted into the Track Coaches Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Great honor. She, of course, was a great athlete when she was competing. What has it been like having a Hall of Fame coach instructing you?
It's pretty cool. That's actually one of the, that actually probably drew me to the school as well, too. Like, where else am I going to find a coach that, made it to the Olympics and succeeded well as an athlete and as a coach, because she also had athletes that went really far too in the Olympics, and like all kinds of All-Americans, stuff like that too. So it's been pretty cool to be able to say that and to be able to be coached by her. So I'm definitely happy that I made this decision.
And quickly, Zack, as we're running out of time, but what attracted you to UCLA?
This school is athletically the greatest school in the NCAA. We have so many championships, but what makes UCLA different is this is a fun campus. There's always something going on. There's always places to go, people to meet, and then the way they treat athletics. I'm not just friends with track people. I'm friends with football, basketball, and everybody else, and I love that family.
Well, we think you're both great. We also think you're both nuts for working out as hard as you do, but we're really happy you came in and talked to us today.
Thanks for having us.
And we'll meet our next guest right after this brief public service announcement.
A trophy can be made just about anywhere. But there's one place where champions are made. UCLA, champions meet here.
Welcome back to Bruin Talk. Before we meet our next guests, let's take a look at the Athlete of the Week. This week, we honor Dicey McGraw of the women's volleyball team as our Student Athlete of the Week. Dicey posted 13 kills and 11 digs in her first season double-double at the Wahine Invitational. In previous games against Kansas State and San Diego, she led the team in 10 and 11 kills respectively. Last year, she led the Bruins in both kills and points per set. Now a senior, she brings great depth and experience to a team that began the season ranked 6th. Congratulations, Dicey, and good luck to the rest of the team. If you would like additional information about UCLA athletics, please visit our website at www.uclabruins.com.
One of the powerhouse programs at UCLA is women's golf. Coach Carrie Forsyth has really built a juggernaut here in Westwood, and we are very pleased to be joined by 2 of the members of this year's team, Lee Lopez and Gloria Yang. Thanks for coming in and joining us on Bruin Talk.
Hello.
Now, you both came from a long way. Gloria, you grew up in Seoul, South Korea. and then came to UCLA. And Lee, you transferred from Long Beach State, almost as far away. Tell us, Lee, about your decision to come join the Bruins.
Just to have an opportunity to be part of the Bruin family, it was just, unbelievable. The girls on the team, not only great players, I mean, we're the #1 team in the country, but also great girls. Carrie and Alicia, our coaches, just great people to be around, and to have the opportunity is unbelievable.
Gloria, you think she came here to be with you, right?
Of course, of course. I can't say any more about like how much I had a great relationship with her before, and she was a great player. So.
Tell us about your odyssey to Westwood from South Korea.
I actually moved to Temecula when I was 14, and then I moved here after graduating from high school. So it was amazing. It was my best decision I've ever made in my life, I think.
Can you both tell us a little bit about your training for the fall preview coming up?
We actually start our team stuff 3 or 4 days before we actually leave. So we are just coming in, and then we start qualifying for the event, which is like 3 days in a row, and it's during summer sessions finals. So we'll see how that goes.
And how's your training been going, Lee?
It's been going good. I moved back to Westwood on Monday, and then I start practice and workouts with the girls. I think qualifying Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
A lot of your Bruin teammates have really been prominently featured this summer. Of course, you had a couple members of the Curtis Cup team. Stephanie Kono and Tiffany Lua were on the Curtis Cup team. And even on the big break, a former Bruin, Ryan O'Toole, did very well. She's doing well this year in the Futures Tour. It's got to be nice to see your teammates out there competing and doing well.
It is. It's motivating to see them doing so well, and that they had been a part of our team, and we always remember them.
What are your expectations, Lee, for the upcoming season? You had to redshirt last year as a transfer. Now you actually get out there in competition. What's that going to be like?
I'm really excited just to actually travel with the team. And I mean, I got to be a part of their practice and their workouts, but to travel and compete with them, I'm just so excited.
Gloria, as a senior this year, you have an important role. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're going to approach this year and even helping younger players?
I think motivating as a senior is one of the key things to lead the whole team to better season and to be a better person, I think, as a team. So as a senior, I want to show them how to motivate each other and how to push each other to become better. So I think that's one of the most important things as a senior and as a leader.
Unless you're in a college team or in a situation like the Curtis Cup, the Solheim Cup, golf is such an individual sport. Mm-hmm. How different is it being really a team in competing at this level?
Mm-hmm. When you go out there, it's more, during summer tournaments, it's very individual, and you just focus on yourself and try to become better and to play better and score better. But when you go into a team environment, you see each other like forward and back. You see in the front, you see in the back. It's just very motivating, and it helps me and helps others to push each other and push to the end, because golf is not a 100 meters run. It's more of a 3-hour, 4-hour run out, perhaps I would say. So.
Lee, the team aspect of it, you're still out there, you're still hitting the ball. What's the difference when you're competing, knowing that you're part of a team and that everybody's looking to you to help the team squad?
I mean, just like Gloria said, it's really motivating to have been working together off the golf course and then go to tournaments and truly know that you're making each other better, you're making the team better. So I think it's a better feeling to be a part of a team than to just play individually. You're playing for something greater.
Tell us each a little bit how you discovered golf. Was it just that you started playing for the fun, or did you see competitive greatness in the future?
For me, it was actually my dad got me started playing golf. He was an amateur player himself, so I just started and I fell in love, and I just kept at it and managed to make it to UCLA.
As Lee said, my dad he loves golf, and he wanted me to play golf because there was no other family member who was playing, so he chose me, and he always calls me a chosen one. But and then after that, I started playing golf in Korea, and then my dad wanted me to have better education at the same time when I was playing golf. So we both decided when I was 13 to come here when I was 14. So it was a great decision. And then I was in golf academy, and then that helped me to get here. And then my guardian, of course, did too.
There are so many good young Korean women golfers. I mean, they're plastered all over the LPGA.
Yeah.
And I guess Se-Ri Pak might be the one who would be the role model for everybody. Is she somebody that you looked up to when you were learning the game?
When I actually just started, was probably a week later she won. So it was a great impact, and my dad always played all the videos of Se-Ri Pak, and it was very motivating as a first Asian to win U.S. Open after another round of playoff. So it was great motivation, and we're all very grateful for her being who she is.
Lee, when you were starting to play the game, who did you look up to?
I think it was during the time when Annika Sorenstam was making her charge at #1. So definitely her, and then as I grew up, Lorena Ochoa. There aren't many Hispanic golfers out there. I mean, I'm definitely the minority on our team. So it's nice to have someone to look up to and just to motivate other people, the things that she's doing for her country. So definitely her.
Now, Annika Sorenstam, like a robot. Her swing never changes. How do you develop consistency like that?
A lot of practice, a lot of hours.
And at the same time, I feel like you need to trust what you're doing, and everybody struggles with that, not even golf and everything. You just have to trust what you're doing is right and stuff. So,
Lee, what has been your greatest challenge since transferring to UCLA?
I would say getting adjusted to just the more rigorous practice here and workouts, and also trying to balance school alongside that. And I was lucky that I got a year to get a hold of things before I have to travel. I think it would have been a lot more difficult if I would have just came here and then had to travel and get adjusted to everything.
Gloria, how much does being the #1 team in the country, it puts a target on you, how much does that translate into the rounds themselves? Does that put extra pressure on you?
I guess my first 2 years it really did, but last year, actually even during my second year, it was fine because it was actually pushing us to become better, practice harder, and to push each other to play better. So it could be a pressure, but at the same time, it's a great pressure.
What are some of the lessons of golf that have carried over into your regular life?
I'm still struggling with it. I think being patient is the #1 thing in golf. You can't tell what you're going to shoot after one hole, and you can shoot bogey or double, but at the end of the round, you can be scoring like 3 or 4 under par. So I think being patient is the #1 thing that I've learned and trying to apply to my life.
Do you like match play or stroke play better?
I think I'd be a stroke play player. I like stroke play a lot better. I think with match play, anything can happen. So you can shoot 80 or 70 and win or lose a match. So.
Now we talk about course management both on the golf course and in your class schedule. How have the lessons of course management on the course helped you with your course management in the classroom?
It's really similar. I mean, on the golf course, you really have to be careful about the time that you put into certain aspects of the game and then carrying it over on the golf course. And I guess just with other sports, you put in your time, and the same with school. You have to know how to manage your game on the golf course and manage school. So.
Speaking of managing, as Bruin athletes, there are a lot of expectations of school too. Here at UCLA, you can't just do poorly at school. Tell us a little bit about balancing the sport and the high expectations for school.
I think you need to manage like how much you're going to put into each aspect of school, workout, and golf. I try to like schedule it every morning and what I can do, and you have to be more disciplined to be able to execute all the schedules that you have made that morning. So I think that's the key thing.
It's been said that a golf course is a bad place to practice your golf swing. You do that on the range, you go out on the course, you play golf. Are you able to kind of get on the course and disregard the technical aspects? What am I thinking about? Where's my backswing? Do you get out there and does it just flow, or are you technically thinking about your swing?
I mean, it's definitely difficult. It's really challenging. On the golf course, they say try to have as less mental, things going on in your head. It just makes it that much more difficult. So I think for our team, we really try to, during practice time, get all of that out of the way, get it focused in, and then get on the golf course and transfer your practice to the tournaments and the championships.
Lee, you're just starting at UCLA. Gloria, you've been playing on the team. What are some of your most vivid on-course memories in your time here in Westwood?
It's not a one-time thing. I think it's every each round that gives me a lot of memories about it. Is when I come in, no matter you're playing number 5, who comes in first, or number 1, who comes in last, it's just the last hole that trying to see if my teammates are watching me. I think that feels is just, you feel supportive, and that's the most thing that I will remember throughout my life.
What are your individual goals for this upcoming season?
I really want, of course it's my last season, and I want to do well in golf course and stuff. So I want to push myself, and as a leaving senior, I want to I want to show my teammates how to be motivating and be positive and be patient about golf and in life too. So I want to help them to become a better person.
And you can keep tabs on what's happening with UCLA golf on UCLABruins.com. Great coverage of the Bruins and all 22 varsity sports. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, even though I know you can both outdrive me. It makes me mad. Lee Lopez and Gloria Yang, good luck on the upcoming year.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on UCLA Bruin Talk. Naomi and I will be back next time with another great show. Until then, so long for now.